Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be coming through and talking about tomorrow's drop that is including Dark Matter, James Harden, as well as Galaxy OPAL Carmelo Anthony, Andrei Kirilenko, Tim Duncan, and Chris Bosh. And this drop tells me two things. Number one, that they're not going to be doing as many non-hidden gem opals as I thought they would. These are all opal hidden gems, but more so, not a single one of these players is a current all-star type player. Harden's not going to make the all-star team this year, I don't think. And so this makes me, again, more confident. Last week's drop was like this, the week before was like this, and this week as well. The Dark Matter and these opals have not been guys who are going to be current all-stars, with the exception of maybe Ja Morant. And so that makes me think, I guess Kevin Durant last week too, but they're definitely going to be dropping all-star content that contains all of those all-star players here in a couple weeks. So that's something we do have to be excited about, and it's also something that I think is going to mark the shift in this game in a lot of ways. So until then, I would recommend probably not spending a lot of money or any, I mean, I never recommend spending money on the game, but I'd recommend saving your MT and being pretty smart with it until the all-star break to see how things change with that drop. But we're going to go through, we're going to look at each of these cards and what they're going to look like. Obviously can take a look at all four of the opals because they're already in the game. Harden, on the other hand, not so much. Before we hop into it and break it down though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it and let's take a look. So we'll look at what Dark Matter Harden from 2024 it looked like, or from 2K24, I guess, because he does not obviously have that hidden gem in the game. But I do expect that his hidden gem card, was there not a regular Dark Matter Harden last year? Wow, I guess there wasn't. There was a season 5 Pro Pass Opal Harden. So it'll probably look similar to this. 95 speed, 98 three ball, 90 driving dunk defensively, like 80s and mid 80s, stuff like that. Realistically, this card came out February 23rd. This Dark Matter Harden's coming out January 23rd. So my guess is that they will realistically have pretty darn similar stats and badges, despite this being an Opal and that one being a Dark Matter, because I mean, either way, still, if you see 20 Hall of Fame badges and a bunch of great stats on James Harden, he's much better defensively, he's going to be viable. My biggest concern with James Harden, in all honesty, is this year his SIGs are just not that good. And I think that would be my biggest criticism of the card more than anything else, is that his animations aren't very good. And if they don't change animations, which they haven't changed animations on any cards yet, if they don't change Harden's animations tomorrow, he's just not elite. His dribble style is not that good. His escape this year is not that good. His behind the back is not that good. Honestly, his SIGs in general are not great. His jumper's super smooth and his fade is decent, but his animations as a whole are not unbelievable. And he is, I mean, he'd be a very good card stat-wise, of course. I have no doubts that this Harden card's going to be super solid and like a top 5-ish point guard in the game. But if he doesn't get improvements to his animations, he's not really the shot creator that you think of James Harden as in my team. And therefore kind of limits how great of a card he is if he's a little bit more of a cone with the ball in his hands than you would expect, because Harden's movement just this year just isn't as good. His escape doesn't create a ton of space and isn't super smooth. His dribble style isn't great for bursting out of. His behind the back is not one of those ones like the last couple years where his behind the back was really good and created space. This year, not so much. So again, I just don't think, I mean, for a James Harden card, he should be an elite level shot creator. He should be a primary ball handler, a guy you can put the ball in his hands and score the ball with every possession. He should be that guy who's leading your offense. I'm not totally sure this card is going to be that. And if he's not that, he's not really worth getting, because he's not going to be dominant defensively. Yes, the jumper's good, but I certainly see a world in which Harden is not a game-changing card at all. Now, the other opals are all interesting. Every name here looks like they're going to be a solid card. I'm on quite a roll with predictions. I did again predict Carmelo Anthony as the Galaxy Opal. I got KD right last week. I got Carmelo right this week. I've been nailing these predictions recently, but Opal Carmelo is 93 speed, 96 three ball, 90 driving dunk, defensively solid. Only 11 Hall of Fame badges though. I will say D-book dribble style is very good. Kobe escape, not bad. His release on quick is very solid. Normal fade, not too shabby, but I'll be honest, this card isn't special. He's good, but he's a 6'7" small forward. He's got good movement compared to the majority of small forwards in the game, but he's not defensively elite. I mean, it's all mid 80s. The honest truth is this card with 11 Hall of Fame badges, not that much better than a badged up Rudy Gay. in my opinion. I don't think he's better than Giannis, LeBron, or KD, who I think are the top 3 small forwards in the game. After that, you have your second tier of small forward, which is guys like Rudy, Adam Morrison, Jason Tatum, Sean Marion, other cards like that have come out recently. I think he's going to be in that second tier of shooting guard, realistically. Not a bad card at all, but probably not worth the price tag that will be attached to him, because I wouldn't be surprised if he's the most expensive opal tomorrow. And honestly, while good, don't think I'd pay that. Andrei Kirilenko, probably a bit cheaper than Carmelo tomorrow, and honestly, maybe a little bit better, despite not having as much offense, because defensively, he's incredible. His stats are elite, 95 plus pretty much across the board with the 94 interior, Hoff posterizer with 85 driving dunk. I mean, he's missing a couple badges, but he's got 6 badge slots. So you add Aerial Wizard, Deadeye, Limitless, and Shifty Shooter. He's got every single important badge in the game. He's athletic enough, he's got enough speed, and his jumper is absolutely money this year, especially with the stick. It's tough to grade with the button, I will say, but with the stick, it's not bad. He also has the Aaron Fox escape, which is not a bad escape either. So he's actually got halfway decent movement. Like overall, I think this card's going to be legitimately solid, and got a little bit of playmaking, not a ton of playmaking, but a little bit. And he obviously has a lot of shooting ability and a lot of defense, and he's pretty athletic as well. That's a top tier small forward option for sure. Again, depending on the price, probably with all the other small forward options we have, maybe not worth buying, but definitely a very good card, and honestly probably a bit better than Carmelo, despite not being quite as good offensively, because his defense is going to be worlds better. So he's a super solid card. Opal Tim Duncan, also a beast, definitely one of the best power forwards in my team. The 3-ball rating, yes, is a bit low, but I mean 79 is not low, is not too low by any means, and his jumper is super smooth. He's got good speed, he's got incredible defense, very good finishing as well, of course has a dominant post game. But I really like Tim Duncan's jump shot this year. It's gotten better over the last couple years, and this year especially, I really think it's very smooth and easy. He doesn't have anything really by way of movement. His SIGs aren't good, but he does have an elite smooth jumper, high level defense, high level athletic ability, good speed, very good finisher around the rim. Just like all the stuff you want out of power forward, Tim Duncan will give you. He's got the 6'11 height, 7'3 wingspan. This is definitely right up there with the best power forwards in the game. He is an elite level card, and I think we'll be seen on a lot of like God Squad top tier teams. I think Tim Duncan is that good. And then finally, Chris Bosh, the final opal that we see in tomorrow's set. Very solid card in his own right. He's I mean, not quite as good, I don't think, as Duncan, but not bad. His jumper, I will say, not as good as Duncan's. He's got better shooting stats and badges, but I think Duncan's jumper's a little better. Dunking wise, Duncan's a little bit better of a finisher. Defensively, Duncan's better. Speed wise, about the same. Size wise, about the same. 6'11 with 7'3 wingspan, actually is the exact same height and wingspan. Jumper, I will say though, it does favor Duncan, and I think if the jumper favored Bosh, I would lean towards Bosh as the better card. But since the jumper favors Duncan, and I think Duncan's a little better defensively, and a little bit better of a finisher, I just think overall, even though Bosh is the better shooter, he's got as much speed, he's got all that stuff still, I think Duncan is the better card. Now, Bosh is a very viable card in his own right. Still going to be a top tier power forward. He's just not quite as good as Timmy, in my opinion. But overall, every opal in this drop tomorrow is good. James Harden has the potential to be great, but even if he doesn't get changed animations, he'll be really good in his own right. But I will stand by the fact I don't think there's any must-have cards in tomorrow's drop, which is something that's been the case for a while now in my team. Be interesting to see when the next must-have card does drop, but there hasn't been one in a while, and I don't think tomorrow's drop includes that either. So with that being said, that's going to do it for the video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.